we're going to do our very first all teams ranked video. Well, we're not going to do Blitz teams, but teams other than Blitz, we're going to do for sure. And I got to give a big shout out to everyone that came out to last month's video. 1,000 likes. Well, I was 1,000. And a lot of the comments in the comment section on this video said, hey, Mobile Gamer, can you do all teams ranked? And I said, yes. Well, we're going to get into it. Like I said, I'm not going to go over Blitz teams and Minion teams and things like that. But before we get into it, check out what I'm doing on my other channel. What is it that you're saying there, Boomerham Washington? Download Raid Shadow Legends. Use my link in the description to get 2 free epic strong heroes. Come join me on my Raid Shadow Legends journey as I dive into the world of Raid Shadow Legends to conquer and destroy and take over everything because I'm the best. Joining me on this fabulous journey is going to be Arnold and Squid Princess, where we're going to dominate Raid Shadow Legends. The one thing that I'll say about Raid Shadow Legends is that there is actual PvE content in this game that is deep and engaging. Why can't other games do that? My favorite 2 characters in the game right now are Sun Wukong and Loki. And the cool thing about Loki is you can download the game right now using my link in the description or my QR code right here, and you will get Loki the Deceiver for free if you just log into the game for 7 days. Loki is always evading, dodging attacks, moving around, staying alive long enough for Sun Wukong to revive. It's the best in the arena. It's the best in dungeons. They're the best. Come find me under the name MG365 and join my clan. Here's the name of my clan right here on the screen. After you download the game using the link in the description or the QR code, all of these free rewards will be waiting for you right here. So we're gonna go over every team in the game. Well, that's not entirely true. We're not going to be talking on this list, the very bottom of the list, which is Blitz teams, but I have this in a general order, and it is in order. We're going to start off with the best teams of the game. Then we're going to move down to teams that are very good in multiple game modes. Then we're going to talk about kind of like specialist teams that are good in a single game mode. And then the last part of the list are going to be teams that I think are on their way out. They were teams that were useful. They're not as useful as they once were, and I'm no longer going to be suggesting people putting resources into it. What's not going to be on the list is like minion teams and teams that I'm not using or seeing anywhere currently in the game. At the very top of the list is Annihilators. Holy moly, easily best team in the game. So after Ares came to the game, there was a massive stat increase, and Annihilators have that monstrous stat increase. You can see right there, Ultimus is at almost 1 million power. They are extremely viable in Arena, Crucible, and Alliance War, and the 3-piece of them, like Gladiator and 2 other members, is amazing. Gore has plug and play capabilities with removing revive and charges, and then Thanos has basically in a way of lowering the cooldowns on your opponent's positive effects, effectively stripping away Safeguard. First character in the game to do that. Ultimus is proving to be plug and play viable. No, wait, situationally viable on this team, where he's basically a tank deleter. And then Silver Surfer got the Shaft. Next 2 teams on this list, and I was kind of in a toss-up on which one of these I would have put first, is going to be Spider Society and Extreme. And I actually was a little bit confused on where to put Orcus, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about Spider Society firstly. Spider Society is such a hassle in 3 game modes to play against. My goodness, they're good. Penny, you don't want Penny to take a turn. That's horrible. Pav goes early and wrecks nerds. Peter B's passive heals the team up and they just feel impenetrable. Noir is plug and play viable, and Ghost is just there. Very good in not only Raids, Crucible, and Alliance War. Now, I want to say this about Alliance War. Right now, there are war bonuses given to spiders, and I'm not sure. I think Spider Society is going to be good when those seasonal war bonuses go away, but I'm starting to wonder about how good Infestation is, because the main thing about Infestation is big time Spider-Man. Now, Extreme. I want to talk about Extreme, and Extreme was the team that I used as my starter team inside of my new player account. And the reason why I used Extreme is that I did not have good access to Spider Society. So I'm not sure if I started an account today, whether I'd be going Extreme or Spider Society. However, this team right here, I just threw Old Man Logan on it, because when you get Old Man Logan, you stop building Cyclops. There's a lot of different versions of this and combinations of Extreme. Notably, Rogue slots very well into this team if you want to use Old Man Logan somewhere else. Old Man Logan is a plug and play character, probably tied for second best character in the game after Mephisto. Mephisto's the best character in the game, but Old Man Logan is definitely up there with Apocalypse and Super Skrull. Next, let's talk about Orcus. Now, I don't know where to put this team because we don't have the full 5-piece. Obviously, they are good inside of Raids. The one thing that I don't know is how viable they're going to be in Cosmic Crucible and Alliance War. And the reason why I say that is that they boosted the team. So I got to test this full team on side of the test server, and it was good, right? It was good. They have the boosted stats. It's a post-Ares team, and it feels very good, but they went in and tweaked them and made them better and made them more viable outside of Raids. So more viable in Crucible, more viable in Alliance War. Absolutely, Lady Deathstrike is devastating. I just put Mephisto here because Mega Sentinel's not in the game, and Mephisto is just a plug and play character, but the 4-piece right here is getting a lot of work done. I suspect that this will be a dominant team on offense inside of Crucible and in Alliance War. I'm not sure if they're going to be defense viable because of the summons on Sentinel, because there's characters like Kestrel and maybe even like Hive Mind with Carnage passive might chew through the team. Not entirely sure. This might go up on the list after I can play the team, and when the full team is out, this might go way up on the list and might be the second best team in the game. But for now, we're going to put him here until we know more details. Then we got to have Hive Mind. Hive Mind is proving to be an excellent team. Venom is absolutely the first member that gets dropped off. For example, if you're going to play this team inside of Raids, absolutely take off Venom and put it in Super Skrull. The 3-piece of Void Knight, Red Goblin, and Carnage with 2 other strong characters is being used a lot in Crucible and Alliance War. And then Void Knight is straight up a very good plug and play character, has boosted turn meter at the start of battle, has the ability to clump them all together and do cool things with ability block. Next is Illuminati. Now, I wanted to put Illuminati higher on the list. The thing about Illuminati is that they are not used in Raids, but they're the best in Crucible. That is what they're designed for. And Captain Britain is the paywalled character, an epic character. I still think that this team does a lot of really cool things with Iron Man inside of Crucible and Alliance War. I'm getting a ton of use on this team inside of Alliance War as well. And I kind of wanted to move this team a little bit higher. And the only reason why they're right here is that they're not viable inside of Raids. Then Alpha Strike. Now, Alpha Strike is on here because they're very good on defense in War, and they're also used in Raids. Also worth mentioning is that the 3 members right here, North Star Guardian and Sassy Pants, Sasquatch, have plug and play. This is a pre-taunting tank. This guy gives offense to the entire team, offense up to the entire team on spawn. North Star has a anti-revive mechanic. So I feel confident, and this is a very good team. Next on the list, and I should have put both versions of the team, a full Superior 6 and Sinister Six. So there's a lot of members here that are not shown. Lizard should be here, so should Spider Slayer, and so on and so on. And so I just didn't feel like putting both of them here, but I just wanted to clump all of them together because they're very, very, very useful inside of Crucible. There's even plug and play members like Vulture's plug and play in Crucible, and sometimes there's even used for Mysterio. Mysterio is actually getting used right now with the Orcus team and the Sentinels, because he's also tech and has summons, which fuels Nimrod's passive. And inside of Alliance War, I'm able to split it up into two teams, like for one team designed to kill Infestation, and then the other Superior Six, which is Green Goblin and Doc Ock and friends, is going to either take out another high value team like Extreme. Cabal is proving to be very useful inside of Crucible and Alliance War. To a lesser extent, Alliance War, they're known for being an amazing Crucible team. I also think that because of the massive damage boost given to this team, this is going to be a good team for a long time. The other day in Crucible, I paired this team up with Lady Deathstrike and Scientist Supreme. Lady Deathstrike went after Scientist Supreme, and Scientist Supreme had put defense down. I hit the special on Lady Deathstrike into a pre-taunting tank, and adjacent to that pre-taunting tank was Super Skrull, and Super Skrull died. It was like a one-button kill. Unbelievable what this team is going to continue to do with these new villains that come out in the future with the boosted stats. On this list right here, I just had to throw Super Skrull and Apocalypse in here just for funsies because they're plug and play characters. Secret Defenders absolutely is still on this list. Very useful, not only inside of Crucible and Alliance War. There are also some plug and play situations. Ghost Rider Robbie is proving to be very good with the ability block in many different game modes and many different teams. Black Cat will have a special place for quite some time because of her ability to take away revives on spawn, and also she has that very valuable stun plus trauma mechanic. Photon is also useful inside of A-Force, so I just threw her on there, and then I just put Black Knight there because he's Black Knight. Where we're going now, we're now going into the more specialized teams. So these are going to be teams that are good in one game mode, and if you enjoy that game mode, then you should consider these teams. I feel like the teams before this are the types of teams that would make like my top 10 list. So going on from here, this is more of the list that is beyond the top 10. So New Warriors, and I think New Warriors are kind of on their way out as far as Cosmic Crucible goes. I'm curious to see how Odin plays on this team. We'll just take her out and run this team with Odin because this team is very fast because of Deathpool's passive just gives them insane amount of turn meter, and they go first, which is something that Odin really enjoys. Again, they're kind of on their way out. I'm just saying. Masters of Evil. Kang, I think, is going to have a importance in the game for a long time because of his passive giving turn meter on spawn on offense. Also, Masters of Evil is proving to be very good in Crucible still. I also really like the combination of putting Titania and Kang with Cabal. Very good. Old Man Logan and Friends is very good in multiple game modes, and this should be higher up on the list. Probably this should be up here right beneath. Let's do that now because this is in the wrong spot. Let's fix this while we're talking about it. But Mercs for Money is very, very good inside of Alliance War. It's the alpha team. Inside of Crucible, this team is used. Typically, Deathpool goes on New Warriors and is used elsewhere. But Old Man Logan is absolutely plug and play character. But as far as teams, because that's what this is a teams video, Mercs for Money is absolutely dominant and crushes inside of Alliance War. The next Alliance War team that I want to talk about is Undying. Undying pairs up well with Dormammu because Dormammu can revive Zombie Juggernaut. If you don't have a 7-star Zombie Juggernaut, pairing him up with Dormammu is very helpful because he can survive that initial blast. And typically I win if Zombie Juggernaut gets to go and do a special and put out Trauma and Slow. I put Ares here not because Ares goes well on this team. Also, this team might get better every October. We've been getting, well, the last 2 Octobers, this will be the 3rd October, we've gotten a new zombie. There's been tons of speculation out there on who the next Undying member will be, but I'm fully expecting in the month of October around Halloween to get the 4th member of Undying. This could spruce up that team and push them up higher on the list. Nowhere. Nova is great plug and play. Star-Lord is the one that gets dropped off all the time, but this is going to be an Alliance War team. Next, we can talk about Gamma. Gamma is very good inside of Alliance War. I am not using this team largely outside of Alliance War. The only character that is getting play outside of Alliance War is Red Hulk because Red Hulk pairs up nicely with Apocalypse, giving Apocalypse turn meter. And so Red Hulk is the superstar of the team. But Gamma also just a one-trick pony at this point. New Warriors, another one-trick pony used inside of Alliance War. Absolutely is very fast. And I'm curious to see if this team will do better with Odin. Well, obviously they're going to do better with Odin, but I'm curious to see where Odin lands. In my testing, I tested Odin primarily or with the new, what I call them, new Avengers, not new Warriors, new Avengers. Very good. Out of Time. Now, I could have put Out of Time up higher. Actually, I'm going to move Out of Time up a little bit because we do sometimes use them inside of Crucible, but mostly Out of Time is going to be a Alliance War team. Black Knight is plug and play viable, gets used in multiple game modes. Now, here's a team I'm not sure how great Infestation is going to be once the boosts that are being given right now to spiders. This is just a defensive war team. It's kind of like Heroes for Hire 2.0. Then we've got a couple war offense teams that are very good. We've got A-Force and Underworld. Always surprise me what these guys can do inside of Alliance War. And then lastly, as far as Alliance War is concerned, is going to be Weapon X. Now, there's a couple things that bother me about the Weapon X team is you really need to have a 5-piece on the team inside of Alliance War to get the full benefit of Omega Red's passive. Lady Deathstrike is going to get moved somewhere else, just like Wolverine got moved somewhere else. So I'm hoping that they will do something with another character and give them the Weapon X tag so that way we can let Wolverine go to Out of Time. We can let Lady Deathstrike go to the Orcus team, and then we can still keep a 5-piece Weapon X. All right, where we are now. This is the part of the list where I would be cautious on upgrading. These are teams that I am quite often not using on a weekly basis. So these are teams that are fading away, and I would be skeptical about putting more resources into this team. Darkhold. Now notice I have Scarlet Witch missing here. I just because I don't think anybody should be upgrading Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch was always the worst member on the team. But Darkhold, there you go. I do think that Morgan the Flay will get some use with Apocalypse and Red Hulk, maybe in Crucible, but the rest of the team seems to be disappearing away. Heroes for Hire, Iron Fist is not put here. Typically, on Heroes for Hire, when people do use Heroes for Hire, they're putting a different 5th member in there, like King or Spider Noir. Also, there are many alliances now that are not even using Heroes for Hire on defense. Like in my alliance, I'm on the flight deck and I still use Heroes for Hire on defense, but a lot of the bigger people in my alliance are not using Heroes for Hire at all. This is a team that is fading away. Infinity Watch is fading away. They were getting some use on defense inside of Crucible, but for now, Infinity Watch has been reduced to a sack team. Also, did not put Rebirth. No, not Rebirth. Invaders. I did not put Invaders on this list because Invaders is also a sack team. Bifrost is being used right now. We're taking, inside of the new raids, we're dropping Beta Ray Bill and putting Mephisto and using the 4-piece, but this is a team that's going away. Absolutely is going to be replaced by Night Stalkers as being the raid team for the Mythic. So be very skeptical of putting any resources into this team. There is some value still in Vol, but outside of Vol, I would not be putting this team. I would not be upgrading this team. Black Order, yeah, this is not a team getting used anymore. It's on its way out. Same thing with War Dogs. There are some situations where I use War Dogs as cleanup inside of Crucible or inside of Alliance War, but I'm not suggesting anybody to put lots of resources. And then we've got Pegasus. I do think that Pegasus is still a strong team, but they're no longer used in raids. They're not in the top 10 of anything inside of Crucible or Alliance War, and Kestrel is the one that is the strongest and merits some upgrades. Well, who do you think I missed on this list? What order would you put this team? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and a big shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Go check out Mobile Gamer channel. Link to that will be in the description. Doing tons of fun videos, not only with my wife, Squid Princess Cat, and also Arnold T101. Lots of fun. I'll see you over there. That's funny.